Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face reaction. I'm Theta. This is Banner of the Stars. And unlike last time, where I said I had nothing to talk about and then talked about stuff for 16 minutes, do not have that much to talk about. I'm about to say nothing, but a little bit maybe. Um, there is the fact that we are going to have to deal with the brother twins, or the twin brothers rather, relatively soon because it seems like the battle's about to happen. I'm pretty sure this is the episode called The Eve of Battle or Eve of Destruction, something like that. So, we're about to start the giant action sequence, which is going to apparently cap off this season of, I'm going to say, of Banner of the Stars, but technically it's just this season of the continuing storyline, right? So it's not really, they're different named shows. It's I don't know how to address it in that respect. Either way, I don't I don't know actually because my confusion, not my confusion, my distaste for the two characters seems to eminently keep getting pushed back, which is satisfying to me in that we don't have to deal with them, but at the same time we're gonna have to deal with them at some point, right? So there's that. Other than that, I think I've said we're coming off the back of two amazing episodes that have really reinvigorated my feelings for the show. It just unfortunately they don't really give me that much to keep going with. Like not much questioning anymore. Feels like these days what is and what can be doesn't exist until it comes up. I mean maybe there's some esoteric questions still lingering like Kiritan, like Lieutenant Kiritan for example and his genetic modifications and everything I've stated about that. Otherwise, we have spent the majority of this season just dealing with the consequences, or at least the memories of what has come before. So, there hasn't been much to deal with about that. And everything else has been minor in regards to, like, questions about the world building. We have scant world building now. Now it's been character interactions between characters that don't interact with anybody else, right? Lieutenant DeSanyo and his chief of staff, they talk to a command meeting once, but otherwise it's just them back and forth. I really miss Crest of the Stars, and Banner of the Stars is remembering Crest of the Stars does not do it for me. It has great encapsulated episodes of its own with moments that really that is that's what it is. I'm just thinking about it to myself. This is one of those moments where I stumble over myself trying to tell my co-host if they existed what the problem is. My problem is that Banner of the Stars makes me want to watch Crest of the Stars. Banner of the Stars for what are we on? Episode 8 now? So I would say almost 50 30 30 to 40%. Banner of the Stars for 30 to 40% of its run has been amazing. The other 60%, let's say 60 to 70%, just makes me want to watch Crest of the Stars. In which case, what are you pulling me for? All right, what am I doing here? Is the payoff going to be so amazing that I'm glad that I got here? I know it sounds like I'm harping, but I'm trying to get my emotions across to make them understood that I'm not complaining for the sake of complaining. You made your first season so amazing that I think you made yourself a problem when the comeback. It's either that or Rogue Knight Alro, if you're out there and you want to tell me what the novel is like during these parts. Is the novel just inner monologue and describing the previous chapters? Because I don't think that's how this could work. What was their source material here? or you, any other viewer out there. Sorry, I'm just addressing the people who have been talking to me the most about this. What is the source material here? What are the chapters like in the novel that these parts are based on? Is it literally Lafiel sitting and thinking about what they went through again? Are they in the chapters? Are they remembering just the previous chapters? Because that doesn't feel like how books are written. I'm just wondering. Just have to know. Otherwise, as I said, I don't have a lot to go over here. Last episode was fucking amazing. Ragash is entering into my top 3 characters on the show, obviously. Other than that, there's nothing to talk about. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and watch episode 8, Banner of the Stars.
ウィンブルモン周辺への索敵の任務について僕らは侵攻してきた人類統合体の先見部隊と遭遇した。だが敵発見の法を伝えるために撤退を開始した僕らは平面宇宙で孤立することとなってしまった。その危機から僕らを救ったのは艦長であるラフィールの決断力だった。
前方の時空砲軍を味方と認識する。前進を継続せよ。
What saved you was the sacrifice of the crew, or the command crew of the Seek Royal.
生死の境から帰還した僕らに安らぎの時間はなかった。ウィンブルに侵攻した人類統合体の次の目標は間違いなくここ、アプティックなのだ。
Yep, main fleet's advancing. We saw that, or we heard that. Okay, just a sunrise, I guess. Sorry, it was just... I miss the days where this part would have been filled with new information. There's one thing I know about from all the little clips I've seen, not clips, segments of the book, like pages, all the pages of the books I've seen, the author goes on about random shit about world building constantly. I would expect that whatever parts of the book this is based on must have gone off at length about. Like, I constantly still remember the one Baron that was like, I wonder if new life will form on the planet, right? I don't want people to just come here and inhabit, or colonize rather, my newly terraformed world. What if brand new life, you know? And they're like, he's either breaking the rules hardcore or he's just fucking crazy. Nothing to do with what our characters are up to. And it's basically ancient history. But the author went into it, and he was like the second generation Baron of the territory. I even talked about the first guy who set up the whole terraforming project. Give us more of that, please.
敵主力はウィンブルに入りましたか。
はい、索敵隊が確認しました。
ということは、アプティックが敵の主目的ですね。
おそらく。
それで、敵兵力は
約170個分艦隊相当。誤差は15分艦隊相当です。
So a little bit more than the average of what you thought last time.
銃殺艦の比率が我が方の予
No,
測
because
値
you
より
said
高
like
いんです。
160 to 180 before.
ほう、戦訓を取り入れましたか
Or
ね。
more than that, or less than
3
that, I
年
can't
前
remember.
のあの痛み分けとなった戦いから。
突撃艦を多数揃えるより巡察艦を作った方が有効ということでしょうか。
そう判断したのかもしれません。我が軍にも巡察艦の信奉者は多いですからね。
では
Well, it does seem like the patrol ships are the main attack ships anyway. So confusing name structure you got.
敵の判断が正しいと決まったわけではなし。でも、この間の強行偵察を迎撃した時の様子といい、確かに突撃艦を巡察艦に立ち向かわせるのは酷なのかもしれません。
これからの戦いに突撃艦は役に立たないと。
十分に巡察官を揃えられる相手と戦うには突撃艦は大して役に立たない。
If we think back to the
それ
Gosrath,
では
it
私た
feels
ちは
like
不
a
適切
patrol
な
ship
戦
can
力を
take
与え
on
られ
a
たことになり
large
ます
number of smaller vessels before it gets destroyed. Or at least an odd patrol vessel. United Mankind vessels, I don't know. We've never seen them really win to begin
文句を
with.
言うのはテイとラクファカールに帰ってからにしましょう。今は手持ちの兵力をやりくりするしかありません。
しかし我が軍の勝利は微妙です。
そんなことは最初から分かっていることです。ここはビボースさんたちに頑張ってもらわないといけませんね。
Please don't focus on those guys.
ミスケル方面から艦艇を回しましょうか。
それなら無用です。たとえアプティックが主戦場になるとしてもミスケルを手薄にするわけにはいきません。
それは承知していますが、しかし
ビボース提督に任せておくのが不安ですか。確かにあの一族は卑怯な考えに取りつかれやすく思います。でも戦い方は
Actually
おおむ
blushing.
ね堅実ですよ。
Am I missing
少
something
な
in
く
our
ともネレー
words?
スさんはね、それに優秀な参謀もついています。
その優秀な参謀を率いているのもビボースなのですよ。
Or is she just flustered? That's
よ
meant
ほ
to
ど
imply
ビボース
her
一
being
族を信
flustered.
用していないものと見えますね。ひょっとして何か個人的な経験がそう言わせているのですか。
答える必要を認めません。
なるほど、わかりました。でもまさか本人とじゃないでしょ
答えたくないと申し上げているのです。
う。なるほど。それで司令長官と参謀長どちらとですか。
私は答えたくないと
You
申
get
し上
slapped
げ
in
て
the
いるので
face,
す。
Desanyo.
なるほど。さて、私は居室にいます。少し考え事をしなければならないものですから、何かあれば呼んでください。
殿下、何をお考えになるのです。
教えてあげません。
I don't know how to take that. My first thought is maybe they don't have the relationship I think they have. And it's just maybe I'm just not good at reading them or Lord Desanyo altogether.
推進剤に使える水ならいくらでもあるじゃないか。どこに？そこだよ。すぐに領民政府と交渉してないんだ。ないって何が？領民政府がアプティック政権はまだ降伏していない。つまりあそこに見える
But we
のは
never fucking
まだ
dealt
敵の
with
惑
it.
星なんだ。少なくとも彼らはそう主張している。降伏していない？そうなんだ。
Because no one wants to deal with
そ
a
れは驚
politician.
いたな。僕にとっての最大の驚きはね、ネレース。司令長官たるお前がそんなことも知らなかったってことだよ。まさか地上世界の政治的状況が僕らの戦いに関係するとは思わないじゃないか。待てよ。じゃあ僕たちは何を防衛するんだ？敵から敵の惑星を守るのか？
That is a funny
だから
but
お前
good
は常
point.
軌を逸していると言うんだよ。僕たちが守るのはアプティック門だよ。常識じゃないか。それもそうだな。
I hate that this guy doesn't seem to be paying any attention at all to what's important around him.
略奪ということになるね。略奪。政界軍が略奪するなんて何年ぶりのことだろう。略奪をするつもりなのかい？ああ、なんとなく芸術的に思えないか？思えないな。けれど、現実問題として僕らには推進剤が不足している。勝つためには仕方ないだろう。それもそうかな。戦いは勝負だからな。そう
Or
だ
you
ろう。
could just contact the fucking president and demand he surrender.
勝つためには仕方がない。水を略奪しよ
どうやってですか？
う。ん？
第三アプティックの海は分厚い大気圏と重力緯度の底ですよ。それぐらいなら本国から平面宇宙経由で補給してもらった方がまだしもよろしい。
でもそれでは不足するんだ。
惑星から組み上げても同じことです。
私も賛成します。もしご命令とあらば、強襲輸送艦を呼び寄せた場合と本国から推進剤を運んだ場合の比較をしてみますが。
いや、それには及ばない。しかし何も大気の底まで降りていかなくてもいいんじゃないかな。例えば空気中の水蒸気を回収すれば。
そんな設備は艦隊にはありません。まあ、
What
い
the
ささか
fuck
時間
are
をい
they
ただければ
doing?
なんとか手持ちの資材で作ってみますが、今度の戦いに間に合うかどうか微妙ですな。
いささかってどのくらいだ
1年ぐらいです。
わかったわかった。あるもので我慢するよ。結局政界軍がめったに略奪しないのも理由がないわけじゃないという
I
こ
was
と。
hoping it was going to go somewhere
しかし
like
残念だな。すぐ
interesting,
目の前にあるのに手
bringing
を
up the
出
whole
せない。
politician not surrendering thing again.
そういう経験はお前に
But
も
it
珍
entirely
しくない
skirted the issue again.
お前ほどじゃないよ。そうだね。お前は手を出せないとわからないからね。さて、
And our chief admiral here just being an idiot again.
僕の作戦案を提示する。意見があれば聞こう。これは機動時空爆雷だ。あらかじめ戦列艦から抜いて並べておく。もちろん輸送艦の積んでいる補充用もだ。こいつは突撃艦と護衛艦、そしてさらにその外側にこれが巡察艦だ。機関はこの配置を予定している。そしてこれが戦列艦。お前にしては極めて堅実な配置案だ。平凡とさえ言える。ありがとう。では作戦手順の説明に移る。敵の通常空間突入直前に機雷を一斉に平面宇宙へ送り込む。機雷を完成した後、用済みの戦列艦は退避させようと思ったが、推進剤が不足しているならそんな贅沢はできない。戦列艦にはその場にとどまり、推進剤補給艦としての役
Kind of
割を果
expected
た
them
して
to
もらう。
do the mind trick from last episode, just leave them all out in front of the sword.
頭を覗かせた敵を全力で叩いてもらう。とにかく通常宇宙に侵入させないこと、それが僕の作戦方針だ。最も合理的で味方の被害も最小に抑えられると思う。主力部隊が到着するまで最大72時間、なんとか持たさなければならない。何か異論はないと思うよ。実に平凡な作戦だ。うまくいくだろう。
本当に素晴らしい。美貌的な部分が全く感じられない。
細部は僕たちで詰めるよ。お前はどうか司令
I
長
feel
官
like
と
y'all
して
are
の
just
仕事を
poking the
してい
bear
て
with
くれ。
this.
僕が邪魔なのか。ああ、せっかく
Keep
堅
saying
実
how
な作戦
sane
案
the
を出した
plan
んだ。
is. They're gonna
何か
turn
妙
the
なことを
plane
思いつかないう
insane.
ちに事務仕事をしていておくれ。なんという言い草だ。とはいえ、なぜ指揮官になんかなったんだろうな。こいつが恨めしいよ。お前は参謀向きじゃないんだよ、ネレース。お前もそうじゃないだろう、ネフェ。違うことといえば、お前は参謀に向いていないのと同じくらい指揮官にも不向きなことだ。
What the fuck was that about? I would not be surprised if these two just were the two different people switching
私は
outfits.
ただの10省庁だ。
But they are just
殿
fucking
下はやめてく
crazy.
れるとありがたいのだが。
They don't like
い
their
いじゃないですか。
jobs.
殿下と対等な口を聞く機会は俺たち士族にはめったにないことなんだ。
なら好きにするがよい。
この間は大変でしたな。
運が良かったのであろう。よく生きて帰れたと思う。
いや、艦長の優れた統率力のおかげと聞いてますよ。それに比べて私めは。
そなたは立派に戦っている。これまでの戦闘からもそなたの戦技に疑問を抱く者もいないはずだ。
まあそうなんだがね。
そろそろ行かぬと遅れるんじゃないか。
帝国の王女に誘われるなんてことは一生で一回のことなんだろうな。
I'm gonna have to double check in the note taking section if he said what his name was, because I clearly do not remember this guy.
あれはネズミじゃないの。
環境
Oh,
に猫を連れ
Dio,
込
you're
む
so
と
fucking
サムソン
cute.
さんの機嫌が悪くなるんだ。
どうして監督が怒るの？
猫の毛が精密機器に悪いって。
それは迷信。人間の毛も同じぐらいたちが悪い。だからここの機械はちゃんと対策がしてある。
僕もそう思うんだけど、サムソンさんにしてみれば名誉の問題なんじゃないかな。多分責任を持つ機会が必要以上に存在に扱われているような気がするんだと思う。
It's a
監
warship.
督の名誉と私の閲楽、
Systems are
ど
gonna
っち
get
が大
damaged.
切かは明白。
できれば君から説明してよ。その環境に連れ込む理由を。
聞かれたら。ね
何？
え、この子はいくつ？
4歳かな。
そう。ねえ、あなたは？
ディアーホより16は年上のはずだよ。他にご質問は？
So you're 20 now.
年老いるってどんな気分？
時々ものすごく無神経だもんな、アーブって。さあ、よくわからないよ。なんたってまだ年老いるには間があるんだから。
そう。じゃあ監督にでも聞いてみる。
それだけはやめた方がいい。そういうことに関してはサムソンさんの方が微妙なお年頃だからね。
酒を飲んでいるのか？
これは千人称子。これから当分飲めそうにないですからね。今のうちですよ。
悪癖だね。私ももらっていいかな。
今悪癖だと。
それが何か？
Foresee these two hooking up.
私は悪癖が大好きだが。
Because the senior aviator hasn't said much ever.
生まれついてのアーブは酔っ払わないってのは本当ですか？
ほろ酔いならするよ。でも泥酔することはないね。遺伝的にできないんだ。もっとも血管に主成を直接注入すれば別だろうが。
遺伝子工学の勝利に。だが俺にはどちらかっていうと呪いに思いますね。何もかも忘れたくなることがあるでしょうに。
そういう時は睡眠薬でも飲んで眠ってしまえばいい。
なんたる健全
I
さ。
take a pill to help me
我
sleep.
らアーブは健全な種族なんだよ。
人類の大半はそう思っていないようですがね。
そういつも期待に沿うわけにはいかない。
アーブが他人の期待を気にしたことがあるとは過分にして知りませんな。
ああ、実を言うと私も知らない。しかし、ないと断言することもないだろう。それにしても、君は妙に絡むね、今日は。
それはね、酔ってる私に千人称子があったことがないからですよ。
しょっちゅう
Everyone's
あ
got
る
a
ような
bullish
気が
on
する
them
が。
today.
あれは酒を飲んでるだけです。酔ってるわけじゃない。
なるほど。今は酔っているわけだ。
これが2瓶目ですからね。
普段からそんなに飲むのか？
いいえ、これは1年に一度自分に許す贅沢ですよ。いつもはほろ酔いにとどめておきます。
今日は何か特別な日なのかな？
もうすぐ
I
自
think it's
分
a
の
fucking
10倍の
ramen.
敵が攻めてくるんだ。これは一生にそうない経験だと思うんですがね。
確かに頻繁に会ったならその一生はあまり長くないだろうからね。
その通り。
この戦いが終わったら何でも君の好きな銘柄を送るよ。
こいつはどうも。千人称子
We
は
are
不法と
just
聞いて
setting
ま
up
すからね。
death flags left and right, aren't we?
その噂は大げさだと思うよ。でも確かに遠慮はいらない。
自分の酒を他人の杯に継ぐのがこんなに嬉しいのは初めてですよ。
補充はないわ。まあ十分予測はできたことだけどもね。私たちの配置はここ。与えられた使命は単純明快。目の前に出てきた敵を全力で叩く。ただそれだけ。
確かに単純明快ですね。でもどれくらいそんなことを続けていなければいけないんです？
Oh, the other captains of the strike
永
fleet,
遠に
or
敵の覗かせた頭を叩い
the
ていくわけ
battalion
にはい
rather.
きますまい。
最大72時間。防衛艦隊司令部はそう言っている。何の保証もないけど、とりあえず信じるしかないわね。それ以上は聞かれても困るわ。なんといっても私は突撃隊司令に過ぎないんですからね。他に質問は？よろしい。この戦いは門からの侵入を許せばこっちの負け。でも私たちは自分の受け持ちを必死
I
で
mean,
守るわ
technically
け
it's
よ。
just a giant orb.
他
You
の
can
部隊
just,
の担当区域のことは考えても仕方ない。
pile around it, just constantly fire at it.
不安でもあるわ。あなたたちの中には出世して大艦隊の指揮を執る人間もいるでしょう。でもその立場になってもこの気持ちを忘れないでね。
百姓長ご自身は大艦隊の指揮を取られるおつもりはないのか？
私ご遠慮申し上げるわ、十将長。あのみすぼらしい所領だけでも私には荷が
Plus, I have
重
a
いの
bear
に。
knee back home I gotta worry
艦
about
隊指
now.
揮権なんて欲しくない。貴族と皇族の違いはね、こういうわがままが言えるところよ。そうそう、もう一つあるわね。皇族方にとっては領地は慰み。でも私たち貴族にとっては生活のすべてなの。
ひょっとしてさっきの言葉は私
I
だ
feel
け
like
に
the
投げかけ
Duchess
ら
would
れ
have
た
a
ものな
different
のだ
point
ろ
of
う
view to say about this.
話は変わりますが、千人将士、艦長のことどう思います？
どうって？
どうも調子が狂うんですよ。何しろ19歳の艦長ですからね。
突撃艦の艦長として若すぎるとは思わないな。何しろ突
If
撃艦
Lafiel's
長が
only
一番必要
19,
な
then
のは
Jinto
反
should
射
be
神経
18,
だ
not
からね。
20.
別に能力を心配してるわけじゃないんです。ただね、俺は20年近く政海軍で働いてきました。
I'm pretty sure Jinto was a year younger than Lafiel
俺が
last time I
政海
checked.
軍に入った頃、艦長は人工支給からお出ましになったんだなって。
すまない列翼将士。どうも私には君の問題が理解できないようだよ。
何？酔っ払いのザレ言
You have just
ただ、
quickly
艦
glanced at
長
my
が
notes.
適材適所かという
Jinto was a year
のは
younger.
私にも異論がある。はっきり言って拍子抜けしているんだよ。何しろアブリアル一族についてはいろんな伝説があるからね。意外と艦長は穏やかな人だった。
穏やか？あれで
想像していた
Oh,
より
they're
はるか
getting
に。
close.
どうもあの方は自分を場違いに感じていらっしゃるんじゃないかな。多分上から命令される立場に向いていないのだろう。もっと大きな裁量権を持つか、いっそ一人で行動した方がいいのかもしれない。
場違いね。そういやあの坊やもそんなこと言ってたっけ？俺が感じてるのも突き詰めれば場違いってことに尽きるのかもしれませんな。重視だった頃、周りは地上世界出身者で老若男女いろんな人間がいましたよ。ところが環境にいると周りは若いアーブばかり。千人少子は俺より年上のはずですが、見た目は若造。失礼。こいつはちょっとばかり口が滑りましたな。そして唯一の地上世界出身者はやはり若い上に伯爵閣下。
I brought that up, like literally, I think the first episode of the season.
いや、トリペイルクレメンゴル。シゼ、ハゲンシドムテル。クレメンゴルゼフェルゼンゴルシドムテル。コレクタン、ベイタンフェルゼンフィスト、ドゥネットコブシペイ。ユス、トリプネットマイツーブ。レファイニルホプシー。ケス、ディタルムシトリプネットマイタイヤン。フェルゼン。失礼。
いや、私は気にしないよ。ただ、返事を求められると困るけれど。
瓶の中身は半分にしておいたわ。残りの半分は戦闘後に取っておきましょう。
Everyone's
また
getting
5人揃わないと空っぽにはならない。
getting drunk before the
瓶が
battle.
空になることを願って乾杯。
Fair enough. We have 30 hours remaining, I believe. They said.
儀式は終わり。解散。
列翼将士、眠るなら自分の部屋で眠った方がいいよ。
Okay, so 6 hours for the meeting then. So trying to drink with an ob is like trying to drink with the Flash, I guess. I'll say, despite what I was going on about with Samson before, the Samson and the senior aviator conversation was probably the highlight of the episode. I didn't find it particularly interesting, but it at least gave us some more context to Samson and his relationship to the people on the ship. You know, particularly like the fact that everybody under the bridge crew seems to be entirely landers. And obviously Samson is the only other person besides Jinto on the bridge who's a lander. So we're addressing that facet of his personality, that he feels like he's other amongst the crew. Which might go at least a little bit of a ways to explain why he treats Jinto in that way. especially when Shinto's younger than him, and he feels like he's being surrounded by people who are older than him because they are, and they don't look like it. Other than that, though, it's battle planning. And honestly, I don't live in this world, right? The battle planning doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't think I'm going to be watching the fight and be going, that's not what they said they were going to do with those ships, you know? Not that kind of show. Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
全走行閉鎖完了。接続通路の切り離しおよび収容の準備完了。前方指定制御機関再尾水力で吹かせ噴射開始。接続通路切り離せ。主機関点火。全機関異常なし。抜病準備完了。姿勢制御噴射。主機関点火。繰り返す。敵艦隊予測突入時刻まで6時間。全艦抜病せよ。
大精霊。
Okay, well, I guess that was that. We just prepped for battle the whole episode. Specifically, more meetings between commanding officers. Like, we got the Admiralty that's in charge here being fucking idiots. Like I constantly believe them to be. Why don't we pillage the planet? Ah, fuck off. Pull the humidity from the air. How about you just demand their surrender like their president wants? What do you hurt? What do you hurt by just listening to him, let him put on a show, and then just have him fucking surrender? And then you can do whatever you fucking want with the planet. The funniest part of the episode, though, was, what do you mean they didn't surrender? Wait a second, what are we defending here? That was pretty funny. Obviously, I fell into it myself because I just completely forgot when he says, "Well, the gateway, obviously." It's like, oh yeah, that's right. That was funny, and again, I appreciated the Samson and the senior flight. But even then, that was great for Samson. I didn't really get much from her side, like understanding where she's coming from, other than the whole her understanding where he's coming from and her aspects of an ob. That was a little bit of world building. I appreciate that. We didn't know before that obs can't get drunk unless they inject it in, and that they have sleeping pills, right? Effectively. So I expect that maybe I'm going to take a note about that during the note taking section, and it'll come back later, maybe a season or two down the road. Just like there's been little things here and there in this season which have been maybe callbacks, or if not themselves, just minor notes. Like the planet Samson's from was the planet that the allegory came from in the season 1 opening, back when we used to get world building in the opening. That sort of thing. So yeah, other than that, again, not much to go over here, because this is just I would call it a build-up episode, but it's not even a build-up episode. It's a watch them plan episode. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into the note-taking part, and then I will catch up with you after, and we'll see if I actually have any notes to take this episode. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Hey everybody, we're back again after the note taking, and unfortunately, it's exactly as I said. There wasn't a lot for me that I felt was noteworthy from this episode. If I'm gonna be honest, this is probably one of the I don't want to say it because I know you're gonna hate me for saying it, but this is probably the weakest episode of the entire show so far. Not just the season, because I don't get a lot out of the fleet planning episodes. There's not much there for me. Obviously, it might read better in the book, but what am I picking up out of this? Because once they start into the fight, I don't see it. I mean, it's just a crazy mash of how insane fighting is. Anyway, I have, what am I looking at here? Three primary notes. Lafiel is 19, according to Samson in this episode. And Jinto states he's 20 now, by which he means Daiho is 4, and that he is 16 years older than that. In the first season, Lafiel is 16, and Jinto was 15. So somehow Jinto aged faster than her? Or is it just Samson being wrong? Because obviously, Lafiel being 19 makes sense, because we know we've done a 3-year time advance, right? So Jinto should be 18 right now, but Jinto is claiming to be 20. Is he trying to impress the girl, who apparently is asking him questions about being older, so he makes himself older? Didn't make sense. I don't really understand the relationship between Kanesh and Desanyo. It felt like before that she was flirting with him, and he was too dense to notice. Now it seems like she is implying the relationship between the twins and her, that he is too dense to notice, is a problem, and that he's trying to be coy about. Like, she won't tell him, and she's got a blush on her face, and it seems to imply something bad, right? And he's like, "Oh, you don't tell me, I won't tell you." And it's like, you're not reading this right. Or it goes back to my previous comments about I can't read them. Their back and forth doesn't feel right somehow, and I'm having a problem reading into it, is my point. And my final note here, gonna be a short one, I'm sorry. Will someone just demand the planet surrender already? Give the president what he wants. A way to save face, but still surrender. You can use the planet however you'd like from there on out. You know? All the supplies you could need, probably. I mean, obviously the people on the planet are going to treat you just like the Hyde system treats those Obtu, but you wouldn't have to pillage them for no reason. It'd be something. I would just like to see that resolved before we all possibly die in a giant space war. That's all I'm asking for. It was funny that the first implication, and then suddenly we're still dealing with it, and it's not funny anymore. I feel like the characters that I enjoy the most are now gone, or have been supplanted into positions where they are not using the full expressiveness of their interest. Where the fuck is the Duchess? Bring the Duchess back. She was fun, even in the situations like this, right? Where we're stuck with fleet planning and everything. Can you imagine the Duchess in any one of these fleet planning scenes? She would make it fun and interesting, and you'd be second guessing anything that was being said because she's gonna lead you down a conversation hole, make you look dumb, make you look smart. You never know. That's what I'm missing. The best characters are now missing, and we only have nothing, right? We don't have anything left. Anyway, I'm sorry for being so depressive about this episode, but two amazing episodes, now back to standard season 2 fare, and I think I've just described it perfectly for you. The characters that make the show best are not being put into the situations that fully express them, or we just don't have those characters anymore. And it's saddening. It's saddening because I know the show can be great, and I want it to be great again. Make Crest of the Stars great again. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. I have been Theta. This has been the worst of Banner of the Stars. I'm sorry. I'll catch you next time with the bright, bright hopes that we come back to what makes this show good. Anyways, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?